The story starts with our handsome protagonist, Shen Lang, who is a doctor and a perfect leader. However, his face was accidentally misconfigured and worked hard for half of his life to find a wife. He gets transmigrated to the ancient times with a beautiful face. He wondered if he should work hard in that life or still find a wife. Of course, he chose the latter. He announced that his wife should be the fairest and richest and would only settle for his pretty face. A lot of women with different backgrounds appeared for our protagonist to choose from. What would happen to our protagonist? In a world where looks mattered a lot, if someone was ugly and didn't have money, they weren't allowed to have a family, especially if they were really unattractive. Shen Lang was one such person. He was so ugly that having a family seemed like an impossible dream. However, it wasn't always like this. Initially, Shen Lang was incredibly handsome. Unfortunately, during an experiment with a strong acid, his face turned ugly, a sight so creepy that people were afraid to even look at him. No girl would dare to look at Shen Lang's face for more than a second. For 20 years, he traveled to the most remote and war-torn countries as a highly qualified physician, operating in tents to help people in need. Despite becoming almost a legend around the world, he never gained the favor of women. One day, while operating in a medical tent on the front lines, a missile approached, causing panic among the doctors. Everyone ran for their lives except Shen Lang. He oddly saw the situation as a relief. His last thoughts were that if he could start over, he wanted his beautiful face back to seduce pretty women. At that very moment, the rocket hit the tent where Shen Lang was standing and praying. Surprisingly, he opened his eyes, and he found himself in some kind of chamber. He wondered how he ended up there when he should have been torn to shreds, but instead, he seemed to have been transported back in time. He noticed his clothes and went to a nearby mirror. When he saw himself, he was surprised. He smiled because his strange wish had come true. He smirked, feeling like he deserved to have his good-looking face back. Then he felt a headache as memories from the body's previous owner mixed with his own. He realized the person before him was also called Shen Lang. The previous Shen Lang was teased for being weak and foolish. He was amazed at how the old Shen Lang managed to make everyone dislike him despite being good-looking. He also learned that Shen Lang had been in love with a woman named Xu Chanshan for 2 years. She had an illness that could only be cured by marriage, and Shen Lang became her husband easily. After that, everyone mocked Shen Lang, even the servants, but his wife defended him. Although they were married, they didn't act like a couple. Just seeing Xu Chanshan's face every day was enough for him. A month ago, Shen Lang got sick, and the doctor who was brought in said it was hopeless. As soon as the other Shen Lang died, our main character took over the body. He was happy to find out he was now the son-in-law of a wealthy family. Suddenly, he overheard people talking outside. They were saying Shen Lang should be dead by now because he brought shame to the Xu family. They even mentioned that Xu Chanshan had faked her illness. They opened Shen Lang's room to check on his lifeless body, but instead they found Shen Lang standing there, looking calm. The servants were shocked. The 2 servants were surprised when they saw Shen Lang. They exclaimed that Shen Lang had survived. Shen Lang realized they had tried to kill him. He then understood that being the Xu family's son-in-law was trouble. He felt something on his mind and discovered a laptop in his consciousness. Shen Lang was surprised to find it was the same as the one he had. He also noticed something strange with his eyes and focused on a nearby dresser. He could clearly see what was inside, like X-ray vision. He wondered if his computer and the X-ray machine had come with him after the explosion. With both of them in his body, Shen Lang tried to combine them. He scanned a nearby vase and could see its detailed information. Finding it interesting, his wife came, and he accidentally scanned her bust size. Xu Chanshan said she was really worried about Shen Lang. Our protagonist was shocked because his wife was very attractive. Xu Chanshan then asked the doctor to check Shen Lang's condition. The doctor checked Shen Lang's pulse and couldn't believe it. He found out that Shen Lang had suddenly become very healthy. Xu Chanshan suddenly got angry because she knew he was seriously ill the other day. She then calmed herself and started crying out of relief, but Shen Lang had already seen her true colors seconds ago. Xu Chanshan then asked the doctor to leave them alone, and she started pretending to cry with joy, expressing her happiness at her spouse's quick recovery. Our protagonist was shocked since his wife was different from the memories of the other Shen Lang. He could clearly see how fake Xu Chanshan was. Xu Chanshan then sighed. She informed Shen Lang that his parents were dead worried and even knelt to them just to see him. Shen Lang was surprised but continued pretending to be an idiot. Xu Chanshan frowned since she just wanted Shen Lang to leave their family. Just then, a man kicked open the door. Zhang Jin, the son of Zhang Chong, was frustrated that Shen Lang couldn't even take a hint. He then sweetly stood beside Xu Chanshan and exclaimed that she was now his fiancée. He told Shen Lang to get out since he was not needed anymore. Shen Lang couldn't believe that he had just speedrun a divorce right after he transmigrated. When Xu Chanshan was sick, only an idiot like Shen Lang married her. Now that she had already gotten better, Shen Lang was being discarded. Xu Chanshan then sat down on the bed and confessed to Shen Lang that they didn't fit each other. Since he could see that he was being kicked out by the two, Shen Lang started thinking about how to survive outside. He then made up his mind and told the two that he would go home. Zhang Jin then told him to leave in an hour and slammed the door as they exited. Shen Lang then started grinning and immediately checked his face again. He was not a bit worried about getting a wife with his beautiful face. Meanwhile, the cheating couple was still outside talking about their upcoming wedding. They planned to invite the golden Mulan of the Earl of Wonwu. Shen Lang listened to them as they started describing Mulan as powerful, beautiful, and arrogant. Upon hearing that, Shen Lang decided to target Mulan as his wife. Soon after, Shen Lang got kicked out of the Xu family residence. Literally, he couldn't believe he was treated like a random servant. However, he was still glad that he had a beautiful face, unlike a servant. A man watched him leave the premises. Xu Guanzhen, Xu Canshan's father, confirmed that the thing that he had arranged. Xu Canshan warned him not to take action immediately since her reputation was at stake. Xu Guanzhen claimed that they must do it to please Zhang Jin. Xu Canshan frowned but still followed her father's decision. That night, Shen Lang casually walked back home through the woods. However, he noticed something weird. Just then, some tall men ambushed him and asked Shen Lang to go with them. Shen Lang realized he couldn't take on all of them, so he allowed himself to be captured. Shortly after, he found himself in a place where they planned to bury him alive. The leader instructed the others to burn him before burying him. Examining the memories of the previous Shen Lang, he identified the man as Tian Heng, a well-known underworld lord. Shen Lang understood that his situation was dire. Surprisingly, Tian Heng apologized and explained that he was just following orders for pay. When he noticed Shen Lang's intense gaze, unlike the usual demeanor of a pretty boy, Tian Heng removed Shen Lang's gag and inquired about the reason for the glare. Shen Lang then informed Tian Heng that he would die if the needle inside his body wasn't removed. This revelation startled Tian Heng and left the others confused. Shen Lang claimed he could help, but Tian Heng reminded him that someone wanted him dead. Shen Lang acknowledged this, and Tian Heng, with a smirk, declared that he wouldn't let Shen Lang go. He revealed that Shen Lang's brother had borrowed money and failed to repay it on time with interest. Suddenly, Shen Lang recalled memories from 3 months ago when his father went to the Xu family, causing a commotion and getting kicked out. It became clear that his family had borrowed money because of his father's actions. Seeing Shen Lang's worried expression, Tian Heng assured him that he would soon see his family. Shen Lang was surprised, and the image of the other Shen Lang's family flashed in his mind. Deciding to behead Shen Lang instead of burning him, Tian Heng ordered his men to carry out the task. However, Shen Lang exclaimed that he would offer 1,000 gold coins. Everyone stopped and fell silent. Shen Lang promised to provide the money within 10 days. Tian Heng and his men stared at each other with blank faces after listening to Shen Lang. Tian Heng thought about it for some time but told him that he would only give him 3 days. Shen Lang considered the reason and figured out that the Xu family had ordered Tan to murder him within 3 days in exchange for 1,000 gold coins. Shen Lang advised Tian Heng to remain patient, but Tian Heng insisted on reducing the time limit to 3 days. Shen Lang agreed, and Tian Heng told his men to back off. Shen tore a part of his clothes, drew some of his blood, wrote it down, and gave it to Tan's security. He assured him that Tian Heng had his word. Tian Heng's men still mocked Shen Lang and called him stupid. Tian Heng pointed to 2 men as Shen Lang's monitor for the next 3 days. He instructed them to help Shen Lang reach his home safely and stay with him. Tian Heng advised them to murder him if he failed to do so. After that, Shen Lang was allowed to leave along with them. Shen Lang began walking towards home, with the men maintaining their distance and following him. He suddenly stopped for a while and tried to figure out how he could gather 1,000 coins in 3 days, but he had no idea how to do it. Faced with what seemed impossible, he reminded himself to find a way as he needed to protect his family and seek revenge on everyone. The 2 men standing behind him urged him to be fast and get going. Shen Lang agreed and continued walking toward his home. Shen Lang worried because he hadn't seen his family in 3 months, fearing they might not want to see him again. His family lived in Maple Leaf Village, away from water, and had moved there 10 years ago. Despite the time, they still felt like outsiders. In Shen Lang's hometown, he had living parents and a brother. His father was very sick, coughing up blood, and his brother had an injured leg. All of them missed Shen Lang a lot. His father suggested he visit Hu's family the next day to bring back his son. However, his brother insisted on going to get him. Even though his father attempted to stand, his mother advised against it, knowing he was still unwell. When Shen Lang finally returned home, he overheard the whole conversation while standing at the door. It was embarrassing for him because Hu's family had almost murdered him, yet his own family was willing to face danger to bring him back. Shu's family used to bully Shen Lang, and his family couldn't accept that. Realizing his mistake, Shen Lang understood the love his family had for him. Summoning the courage, he knocked on the door, adhering to tradition, and knelt in front of his family. When he entered, they were more than surprised, but Shen Lang couldn't bring himself to stand still in front of them. His family was in complete shock. His mother cried when she saw her son return. As she hugged him, he apologized for leaving her, but she couldn't be happier. Shen Lang bowed again, expressing regret for his foolish actions. He assured his mother that he wouldn't visit that family anymore. His mother, believing he had become wiser, hugged him once more. Shen Lang also apologized to his father for the hardships he had endured. To their surprise, both his parents were amazed at how much he had matured. The protagonist was astonished at the warm reception of Shen Lang's return. Curious, the brother questioned if Shen Lang had been expelled, and he confirmed with a nod. Relieved, their mother assured him that both his father and brother would support him in everything, even helping him find the desired wife. However, Shen Lang insisted it wasn't necessary, emphasizing that his father's health was the top priority. Placing his hand on his father's forehead, Shen Lang used his X-ray vision to analyze his internal condition. He then thought of a plan to find herbs to cure his father, deciding his intention to do so the next day. Turning to his brother, he asked to see his leg, analyzing the fracture. The brother, willing to go to extremes for him, even mentioned resorting to blackmail by letting himself hit by a carriage to get money. Despite feeling offended by the family's absurdness, Shen Lang then asked his brother how he had the fracture. The brother pointed to it as the fault of the Xu family's guards. The following day, Shen Lang obtained the herbs and treated his father's wounds. This quickly healed him. His mother, father, and brother were all surprised by his skill. His mother excitedly exclaimed that they could save money to open a clinic, and that Shen Lang could marry the village's daughter. Shen Lang was surprised by his mother's excitement. He then excused himself and stepped out of the house for a moment, where he met Tian Heng's men. Despite seeing the family happy, they reminded him that he only had 2 days to save his family. Shen Lang then returned inside, and his mother was ready to wash his feet. Feeling embarrassed, Shen Lang refused since he could do it himself. His mother was shocked and cried that her hands were clean. Shen Lang realized that the other Shen Lang let his mother clean his feet. Soon after, his mother cheerfully washed his feet with warm water. Shen Lang could only smile at the sight of a mother that could only exist in movies. He decided to treat them as his family now and pay back what the other Shen Lang owed them. The following day, as Shen Lang and his family had breakfast, Tian Heng's men knocked on their door. They insisted that Shen Lang needed to make money before the deadline. When Shen Lang's mother inquired about their identity, he referred to them as his friends. One of the gang members cheerfully introduced himself. She invited them to join for breakfast, but the two claimed they had already eaten. Shen Lang explained that he planned to accompany them to the city and wouldn't return until night. One of the gang members agreed, mentioning they could visit his house in the village, so he wouldn't go hungry. Shen Lang's mother, however, was concerned about his well-being. She gave him an egg to eat later on the way to the village. Along the journey, they encountered a father and his son arguing about losing a bet. The gang's subordinates recognized them and demanded the father to pay the debt he owed them. They conveyed that he didn't need to pay anymore and guided them to a bush where they murdered them. Shen Lang asked the subordinates if they really knew the father and son. He revealed that they had known each other for over 10 years. He explained that he murdered them because they owed him 24 gold coins and had lost all their savings the night before. The subordinate told Shen Lang that achieving 1,000 gold coins in 2 days was impossible. He insisted there was no point in delaying the situation, as they could murder him. According to the subordinate, accumulating that amount would take at least 10 years of savings from a normal village, and a poor boy like him couldn't do it in 2 days. However, Shen Lang claimed that he was not normal and exclaimed that he could collect 1,000 gold coins in 3 hours. Shen Lang and Tian Heng's men reached one of the biggest and well-protected cities, which had authority over 25 villages. Specifically, they arrived at the commercial district. In front of a pavilion, Shen Lang stopped and announced his intention to make 1,000 gold coins and seek revenge on the Xu family. The Lin family rivals the Xu family in selling silk fabrics. A Lin family servant comes out to greet them. Shen Lang, standing in front of the pavilion, confidently declared that he had a deal that could let the patriarch earn 5,000 gold coins annually. To take advantage of the servant's trust, one of Tian Heng's men introduced himself, and the servant quickly fetched the patriarch. After some persuasion, the servant led them inside, and the patriarch came out to discuss the business proposition Shen Lang had in mind. Like the servant, Shen Lang conveyed that he could provide a way for the patriarch to earn an additional 5,000 gold coins each year. However, he needed an initial investment of 2,000 gold coins to unlock this lucrative opportunity. The patriarch, feeling that his time was being wasted, demanded they be thrown out. Tian Heng's man started feeling mad at Shen Lang for his demand. Refusing to be dismissed so easily, Shen Lang revealed a golden handkerchief to the patriarch. When he saw it, he was amazed. Shen Lang claimed that the Lin family could defeat the Xu family after delivering the gold cloth to the monarch. However, the patriarch couldn't believe that Shen Lang had done it. Shen Lang suggested recreating the fabric and asked Shen Lang to give him an hour, promising that he could recreate the same dye, even improving it. This fabric was special for the king's family, the one that the Xu family sold. After some time in explaining the recipe, Shen Lang presented a new handkerchief to the patriarch of the Lin family, who was astonished. In return, he handed Shen Lang 2,000 gold coins and received the recipe for golden silk cloth. The patriarch of the Lin family was impressed and foresaw that becoming richer than the Xu family was possible. However, their conversation was interrupted by the arrival of the Xu family, led by their patriarch. He exclaimed that Shen Lang had stolen the recipe for their silk cloth. Shen Lang realized that the Xu family's interference had been prompted by the warning from the patriarch of the Lin family. According to the Lin patriarch, he had alerted them because his son had ties to the Xu, and an alliance would benefit them in getting his son into the army. While facing accusations and insults about his ex-wife and ex-father-in-law, Shen Lang pondered how to escape the situation. Despite false allegations, his ex-wife tried to defend him, tearfully seeking mercy from her father. The patriarch of the Xu family, who accused Shen Lang of robbery, called agents to decide on a course of action. In a plea for clemency, Shen Lang's ex-wife asked him to admit to stealing the recipe. Feeling underestimated and annoyed, Shen Lang countered, declaring there was no proof of his theft. The Xu family patriarch dismissed him as incapable, claiming he couldn't create such a formula. In response, Shen Lang proposed a challenge. He asserted that if he could create a better dye than the current one, he should be cleared of all accusations. To the disbelief of his ex-wife, he even pledged to make a purple dye, which was generally considered unattractive in those times. Thus, Shen Lang issued a challenge to the Xu family. His ex-wife had informed him that if he could develop a better dye than her family's, they would drop the charges. Shen Lang, in response, lightly teased the Xu patriarch and confidently declared that the results of the entire test would be evident in 3 hours. He also requested the agents to serve as witnesses. During this time, Shen Lang worked on his formula, promising to create something extraordinary. When night fell, the Xu family showcased their fabric, impressing everyone with their techniques. They presented a book detailing the ingredients to the judges. Accusations that Shen Lang playfully stole the recipe kept piling up. The Xu family patriarch ordered Shen Lang's arrest, and just as the order was given, Shen Lang appeared. To everyone's surprise, he revealed the dye he created, which surpassed the Xu family's fabric's quality. The dye was a vibrant purple that left everyone present impressed and astonished. Even Shen Lang's ex-wife couldn't comprehend how he had suddenly transformed and produced such a powerful result. Shen Lang confirmed his victory by tossing the handkerchief he had crafted and exclaimed that if this proof didn't convince them, he would show them another one. The new handkerchief amazed everyone as it was a colorful rainbow handkerchief. One of the judges asked to inspect it, while Shen Lang's former father-in-law was in shock. The judge analyzed the fabric and was astonished by the masterpiece he held in his hands. Shen Lang then requested the judge to ensure justice. The judge questioned the patriarch of the Xu family if those recipes were also stolen from his family. The man, embarrassed by the defeat, denied that these were his family's recipes and left the place angrily. His daughter asked for forgiveness for everything and was also left with much anger. Shen Lang expressed his gratitude to the judge. It was because of him that Shen Lang dared to challenge the Xu family with the bet. The Lord held a grudge against the Xu family. Shen Lang asked how he and Jin Yilan were faring. 3 years ago, while a group was hunting an injured bear, Shen Lang, who was admiring a flower nearby, was caught in a dangerous situation. Jin Yilan, the daughter of the Earl of Xuanwu, saved him by throwing her spear and nailing the bear's head. Jin Yilan had Shen Lang treated and even personally attended to him. Hoping to be close to her, the judge, Wang Gang, tried to teach Shen Lang personally to gain favor. However, it didn't work out since the previous Shen Lang was an idiot. The judge was angry since Jin Yilan didn't come at all and cut ties with Shen Lang in the end. Before that, Shen Lang kept hearing Wang Gang curse Zhang Jin, the new in-law of the Xu family. Wang Gang couldn't believe Shen Lang just casually said Jin Yilan's name. He left, and our protagonist sensed the rivalry between them. Shen Lang realized that both the Xu and Wang families wouldn't leave him alone now if he made the wrong move. He hoped his next plan would work and left the area. Along the way, Shen Lang encountered his ex-wife, Xu Chanshan, who suggested a job deal for money and fabric recipes. She tried to convince him with flirtation, but Shen Lang ignored her and walked away. Xu Chanshan resorted to a cunning method, claiming he owed her a debt of 1,000 coins. Shen Lang questioned how she knew about the debt, but Xu Chanshan left in her carriage. Tian Heng's man warned Shen Lang that he had until sunset to deliver the coins, or else his family would be in danger. All of this left Shen Lang worried and unsure of how to solve the problem since Tian Heng also told the Xu family about their bet. He realized he had to figure it out that night, as returning to work as a slave in the Xu family was not an option. Looking up to the sky, he swore to end everything once and for all. In one of the city streets, some men on horses entered, escorting someone important. They requested the citizens to make way as Shen Lang walked nearby. Hearing that Jin Yilan was also approaching, Shen Lang pretended to stroll casually into the street. Seizing the moment as the lady passed, he deliberately got in the way, causing a collision with the horse. The lady stopped the men, noticing that Shen Lang was still alive. Although he seemed familiar, she paid little attention and instructed her men to take him to the palace. They were to deal with his fate, as they couldn't risk harming an innocent person. Unbeknownst to everyone, this was all part of Shen Lang's plan. He orchestrated this to secure an audience with the lady and save his family. Despite appearing unconscious, Shen Lang felt the weight on his mind. The next words or actions would determine whether his family lived or died. Soon after, Shen Lang was transported to the Xuanwu Earl's mansion, which was far from the city. When he woke up, he was amazed at how enormous the mansion was. Upon entering, Jin Yilan greeted her parents, who inquired about the performance. She assured them it went well. Yilan's father, however, felt a bit sad that Yilan's younger brother wasn't as heroic as she was. He shared that the situation in the system was changing drastically, putting their family in crisis. Yilan decided to stay and take over the family, declaring that she wouldn't marry anyone. Suddenly, a servant entered and informed Yilan's father that Shen Lang wanted to discuss Jin Yilan's marriage. Jin Zhao remembered him as the young man Jin Yilan's cavalry had run over. He granted permission for Shen Lang to enter. Shen Lang introduced himself to Jin Yilan's father, and Jin Zhao asked him about the matter. Shen Lang then mentioned hearing that the Xu family wanted to propose marriage to Jin Yilan, leaving Jin Yilan and her parents shocked by his words. This Zhu family consisted of other powerful families governing the entire province. Jin Zhao asked Shen Lang how he came across such secret information. Shen Lang explained that he used to be the son-in-law of the Xu family. Once he overheard his ex-wife and her new fiancé discussing this matter. A servant of Jin Zhou later informed him that Shen Lang was expelled from the Xu family due to malicious reasons. Due to these rumors, Jin Zhou found it hard to trust Shen Lang's words. He ordered a servant to verify the reports. Jin Zhou admitted to Shen Lang that he didn't fully trust him, but the information provided was valuable, so he decided to reward him. Despite the unverified report, Shen Lang was pleased to be rewarded immediately. Ambitiously, he knelt and asked to become a servant in their house, with the true intention of winning Jin Yilan's heart. Jin Zhu informed Shen Lang that he would study with his son but wouldn't be as indulgent as his parents. As Shen Lang finished expressing his gratitude, a servant rushed in with alarming news. General Zhu Lin had set up camp nearby and was heading their way. This news shocked both Shen Lang and Jin Zhou. Shen Lang felt the pressure, realizing that his plan to marry young Yilan could be ruined. as she might be married off to the young man from the Zhu family. He needed time to develop his plan. Meanwhile, Jinzhou found himself in a difficult situation as his military power would be compelled to follow the orders of the Zhu family. The count's wife suggested refusing, but Jinzhou feared that this might lead to more problems, especially if it was a direct order from the king. Amidst the despair, Jin Mulan unsheathed her knife, ready to destroy her face. Jinzhou scolded her for such a rash decision, knowing that they would still come after her even if her face was ruined. After discussing it for a while, they agreed that their only way out was for Jin Mulan to marry a different person before the people from the Zhu family arrived. Although Mulan bowed and expressed that she didn't want to marry someone outside her family because her younger brother lacked the strength to support the family, her plea was ignored by Mulan's father. He then quickly wrote a letter and sent a servant to find 5 suitable men for his daughter. Just then, Shen Lang appeared and asked if he could join the competition. He ran toward Jin Mulan and expressed how much he wanted to marry her. Shen Lang's words angered Mulan's father, but his wife managed to calm him down, reminding him that Shen Lang was mentally ill. Despite this, Mulan's father ordered his men to send Shen Lang home with 10 gold coins. Just then, Jin Mulan recalled something. She then called Shen Lang the second fool, leaving our protagonist a bit confused. It turned out that there was an older fool in the village, and they were good friends. When Jin Mulan first met him, he was known by that nickname. Jin Mulan agreed that Shen Lang should join. Though Mulan's father tried to protest, he eventually questioned whether Shen Lang could win and concluded that he was only included out of pity. He ordered Shen Lang to be taken to the 6th studio. Thrilled that Mulan remembered him, Shen Lang prepared himself to compete for the chance to become Jin Mulan's husband. The count's family began selecting a spouse for Mulan. They needed to make the decision quickly to have the wedding in the evening. The first candidate was favored because he and Jin Mulan had known each other for a decade. He was the man who had played the judge in Shen Lang's contest against the Xu family. Jin Mulan asked each candidate one question and left as soon as they gave out their answers. The time has come, and it was our protagonist's turn. Jin Mulan asked again what he could bring for her as her husband. Shen Lang thought of various things he could offer, like giving Jin Mulan a massage to loosen tendons and improving the armory of the Jin family. However, he knew Jin Mulan was not materialistic. In the end, he told her that he would give her freedom, but only if she did not commit adultery. Jin Mulan was shocked by his answer but got upset and left, blushing and insulting Shen Lang. Shen Lang laughed silently and mentioned that he would still secure victory. Damn that villainous face. Soon after, Jin Mulan returned before her parents, and Jin Zhu assumed that it would be from their relative families. However, Jin Mulan announced that she had chosen Shen Lang as her husband. This news upset the count, who couldn't understand Jin Mulan's decision. She explained that the other men would take over the family once Jin Zhu died, and Jin Mulan and her brother would be neglected afterward. Her mother cried for her daughter's reasoning, and her father remained silent but angry. Jin Mulan pleaded that only Shen Lang gave her the correct answer, and her mother reminded her about Shen Lang's reputation. Jin Mulan explained the benefits of having Shen Lang as her husband, suggesting that the Zhu family would lose interest in her when dealing with someone like him. The count, annoyed in seeing his daughter suffer, hit the wall and demanded his son's presence. Jin Mulan continued begging while on the floor. The count had asked his servant to bring him a whip. Together with his wife, they went to their son to teach him a lesson. Meanwhile, a guard told Shen Lang that he would take him to a guest room, confirming Shen Lang as the winner of the contest. Shen Lang finally had a chance to get revenge on the Xu family, Lin family, and Tian Heng. He asked the guard to find his parents quickly as they were in danger of murder. The guard was shocked to learn that Shen Lang's family was threatened despite him being the Earl's son-in-law. Because of his new status, he reassured Shen Lang and promised to protect his family. In a tavern, Tian Heng gave the order to go after them and murder Shen Lang if he resisted. Everyone in Exwanwu was in a frenzy that night. Some accepted wedding invitations from the Earl, while the bandits were out to murder Shen Lang and his family. However, they were unaware that Shen Lang was going to be married to Jin Mulan. Soon after, the bandits arrived at Shen Lang's family house. They forcefully destroyed the door, but to their surprise, Shen Lang's family members were armed and ready to fight to the death. When Shen Lang's family was about to be murdered, the bandit captain felt something behind and discovered the guard from the Earl's mansion emitting a threatening aura. The bandit captain then mentioned that Shen Lang's family had committed tax evasion. The guard stated that his master requested the Shen family's presence at a wedding. The bandit asked for his identity, and the guard introduced himself as Jin Zhang. The robber recognized him but wondered why the Earl was inviting Shen Lang's family. He had no choice but to agree to let Jin Zhang take them. Jin Zhang then ordered his men to take Shen Lang's parents in carriages. Afterward, Jin Zhang said goodbye to the bandits. The captain of the bandits nearly fainted after Jin Zhang left. His companions asked him what was wrong, and he explained who Jin Zhang was. He revealed that because Shen Lang had a strong connection with the Jin family, it could be the end for him and everyone there. They decided to inform Tian Heng. The bandit captain was now planning to make his escape from this situation. Upon reaching the gang's hideout, the bandit captain found Tian Heng in the middle of exercising and told him everything that had happened, frightening the boss. Upset, he told the woman he was with to leave. After considering the situation, both of them assumed that Shen Lang would become the son-in-law of the Jin family. To plan for this, he went to the homes of the Xu and Lin families, sharing his assumptions. Even though everyone found it hard to believe, they decided to prepare for any ideas Shen Lang might have. When the wedding day arrived, there was much speculation and a grand celebration. Jin Zhu and his wife appeared, and so as the carriage of the groom. Despite wearing a mask, Shen Lang surprised those who had betrayed him when they saw him step out of the carriage. The Lin family patriarch knew he would be out of business since he betrayed Shen Lang. Shen Lang continued to walk forward and met his beautiful wife on the stairs. The wedding ceremony continued. The married couple gave respect to their parents and each other. Just as it was about to conclude, the city lord Liu Weian appeared and requested to see the face of Jin Yulan's husband. At that time, General Zhu Lin arrived, surprising everyone and prompting instant respect from the crowd. He wanted to see the man worthy of marrying his niece, Jin Yulan. Guests also asked to reveal the man's face. Jin Yulan and Shen Lang looked at each other and agreed to the request. To everyone's surprise, it was Shen Lang. Even his ex-wife, Xu Chanshan, couldn't understand why a prestigious family would choose him as their son-in-law. Zhang Jin, Xu Chanshan's new fiancée, laughed and accused Jin Yulan's wedding of being fake. She couldn't believe that Jin Yulan would want to marry such a wasteful man. Other guests joined in, making accusations against our main character. Jin Zhou requested proof of Shen Lang's lack of intelligence, and a fellow student, a top student, claimed that Shen Lang had a low IQ and was an idiot. Shen Lang recognized his ex-classmate and realized he was trying to impress the Zhang family. Knowing that Shen Lang didn't understand characters despite studying for a decade, he was challenged by someone. The challenger claimed to write a few words and asked Shen Lang to read them. Quickly, he grabbed paper and a brush and wrote 3 supposedly simple words. However, most guests couldn't read these words. The former classmate urged Shen Lang to give up. Shen Lang utilized the computer skills he possessed in his mind and successfully deciphered the words, impressing his former classmate and everyone else. To confirm his correctness, they consulted a literary teacher, who was the former city lord, about the pronunciation. The teacher affirmed that Shen Lang had pronounced everything perfectly. Encouraged, Shen Lang decided to test his former classmate's skills. He wrote a long text with unfamiliar words and challenged him to recognize 4 of them. Unfortunately, the former classmate could only identify 3 words, leading him to exclaim loudly, "I'm an idiot." The situation made everyone in the room laugh and embarrassed the guy who had just spoken. Even Jin Yulan, known for being composed, couldn't help but laugh. Then the literary teacher and former city head kicked him out and asked if Shen Lang wanted to know a word that even his students couldn't decipher. Shen Lang accepted the challenge. The teacher wrote a word that left everyone amazed because they couldn't recognize it. However, Shen Lang knew it was the symbol for the Japanese currency yen. Shen Lang then asked if perhaps they didn't know the pronunciation of the word and only understood its meaning based on the context he read. Shen Lang revealed that he knew the pronunciation of the word. His former classmate exclaimed that someone like Shen Lang couldn't know that word, challenging each other to a bet. If either of them lost, they agreed to hit the other. When Shen Lang gave the meaning of the word, the teacher was surprised, but the other guy tried to make fun, claiming that Shen Lang was making it up. The teacher was shocked to hear what Shen Lang had just said. His student had tried to flatter him, but the ex-city lord couldn't help feeling sorry for the student. Eventually, he agreed with Shen Lang, allowing him to win the bet. This surprised everyone, including Jin Yulan. Shen Lang had cleverly made his former classmate slap himself. All the guests were amazed at how smart Shen Lang was for recognizing such a small detail. Papa Jin looked extremely proud. He then instructed Shen Lang to greet his parents with Jin Yulan. Just before they left, General Zhu Lin acknowledged Shen Lang as a good man. Shen Lang calmly expressed gratitude, and the general burst into laughter. The count granted permission for Shen Lang and Jin Milan to visit his parents. Shen Lang gracefully slid to the floor and greeted his parents. Without hesitation, Jin Milan did the same, greeting her in-laws. Shen Lang was impressed by Jin Milan's grace and beauty. Jin Milan gave them time to talk and arranged for them to have dinner together. As they left, Shen Lang's brother wished him luck. Soon after, Shen Lang waited in the bridal chambers and Milan entered. Both felt embarrassed, knowing what was about to happen in the room. Shen Lang still couldn't believe he had married such a beautiful woman. Jin Milan found Shen Lang to be different from the rumors. Shen Lang explained that his time in the Esu family, where he was ill, changed his perspective. Although it wasn't customary, Milan told Shen Lang that she couldn't consummate their marriage that night. She was focused on taking care of her family. Shen Lang assured her it was okay. But to avoid making him feel bad, Milan left her maid, Xiao Bing, to spend the night with him. Shen Lang recognizes Xiao Bing's beauty. Jin Milan suggested it would be better for him to have a child to make his family happy. After a moment of silence, he played along with Milan and asked Xiao Bing to undress. Feeling a bit embarrassed, Milan left the room. However, Xiao Bing started crying and apologized. Shen Lang realized she didn't want to do it and felt sad that no one liked him. He then told Xiao Bing to sleep in the next room, and she left without hesitation. Despite being handsome, Shen Lang couldn't hold a woman and fell asleep. The next morning, Milan apologized for not being able to accompany him to her parents' house due to her duties. She asked about his future goals, and Shen Lang simply expressed a desire for revenge against the Xu family, especially his ex-wife. Milan, terrified by her husband's words, ate her breakfast in confusion. She told Shen Lang that revenge might lead to conflict, similar to how he couldn't murder his ex-wife's new husband due to conflicts with the city lord. Shen Lang complained about being unable to do anything for revenge and asked if he could at least declare himself as the Earl's son-in-law. Getting no objection, he ran off to fulfill his revenge, surprising Milan that his desire for revenge outweighed his interest in talking to her. Shen Lang had met his in-laws and told them he was planning to visit his family, concealing the true intention of seeking revenge on Tian Heng and the man who had taken his ex-wife. The count granted permission for him to leave and advised him to bring 2 gifts. The count and countess were pleasantly surprised to find that Shen Lang was quite different from the rumors. When Shen Lang departed, he requested a carriage for transportation, but to his surprise, they provided him with a splendid horse instead. This turned out to be a bit of a disaster, as he struggled to ride the horse, falling off repeatedly. This caused embarrassment and left an impression on the faces of the accompanying soldiers. Eventually, they switched to a carriage, reaching the base of Tian Heng. At the entrance, guards threatened to shoot, but recognition by one of them as a member of the Count's militia prevented any harm. Tian Heng was informed, and he came out with a feigned attitude, although he was secretly annoyed that Shen Lang's revenge was sought so soon. Despite the tension, Tian Heng invited Shen Lang inside the fortress to have tea. Once inside, Shen brought up the topic of 1,000-coin debt, prompting the boss to pretend indifference. To emphasize this, the boss burned the piece of cloth that held the promise, adding to the complexity of the situation. As the cloth burned, Tian Heng insisted he had forgotten the debt, but Shen Lang contradicted him. Shen Lang claimed that Tian Heng was the one who owed him 1,000 coins, and with the only evidence burning away, people might think he had come to extort the gang boss. Although the gang boss pretended to be calm, he became furious. Despite his annoyance, he ordered his men to bring out the money. Reluctantly, Tian Heng handed over 1,000 gold coins to Shen Lang. Our main character then suggested that Tian Heng forget about the interest, emphasizing their close acquaintance. The boss, still irritated, begrudgingly gave him an extra 100 gold coins and inquired if there were any other requests. Seizing the opportunity, Shen Lang asked for the person who had raided his parents' house under the guise of an arrest. When Tian Heng heard that Shen Lang wanted to harm the person, he couldn't help but get angry. Tian Heng defended the person, claiming they were out for work. Shen Lang demanded that Tian Heng present the person soon and leave. In his anger, Tian Heng ordered someone to burn the chair Shen Lang had sat on. Tian Shizhen appeared, and Tian Heng instructed him to stay hidden for the next few days. Suddenly, Shen Lang reappeared, impressed that Tian Shizhen had completed his task. Shen Lang had declared his intention to break Tian Shizhen's legs in retaliation for the threat Tian Shizhen posed to his family. Shen Lang reminded the boss of the promise that had been made, to break Tian Shizhen's legs upon his return. Tian Heng, considering Tian Shizhen as his son, and having allied with the Zhangs, confronted Shen Lang without fear of the Earl. Furious, Tian Heng shattered a table with a powerful blow, urging Shen Lang to stop bullying people. Shen Lang retorted that he was merely reciprocating the mistreatment he had endured. The boss, infuriated, asserted that as he worked for the city count, only the count could administer justice. He warned Shen Lang that any harm done to him would require an answer to the count. Expressing a desire for friendship, the boss refused Shen Lang's request to break Tian Shizhen's legs. He even challenged Shen Lang and his soldiers, cautioning that such actions could disrupt the peace and harmony of their community. Undeterred, Shen Lang announced his departure to visit his parents, vowing to return the next day and obediently carry out orders. The boss mocked Shen Lang, suggesting he go with the flow. Upon arriving at his parents' house, Shen Lang's mother anxiously inquired about his treatment at the mansion. Shen Lang assured her that everyone was kind and presented gifts to his family. He gave medicine to his injured brother and money to his father for a decent house, which the father hesitated to accept since the money might have come from the Earl's family. But Shen Lang clarified that the money came from selling his dyed fabrics. Shen Lang promised to assist his brother once he recovered, although the brother expressed the desire to marry a widow upon his recovery. In the afternoon, as Shen Lang left, his mother told him that his lifelong best friend, Da She, was in a serious condition. Shen Lang recalled that despite having a low IQ, his friend had a huge heart. Since childhood, he has faced painful experiences, including being abandoned, teased, and treated poorly by his stepmother. Upon reaching his friend's house, Shen Lang found that the stepmother had forgotten his friend's importance and was close to mistreating him. Shen Lang inquired about his friend, only to learn that he had gone to work. Shen Lang decided to search for him, leaving a generous sum of money for his friend's stepmother to ensure better treatment. However, the stepbrother suggested that the friend might be left to suffer in the mountains. Determined, Shen Lang went out to find his friend. Night comes and they discover Dasha in a critical condition. Dasha woke up and recognized Shen Lang. Dasha explained that the wounds were from saving his brother from a wild animal. Since they didn't have money for treatment, they left Dasha to die in the mountains. Angry and moved by nostalgia, Shen Lang vowed to make those who mistreated his friend pay. He asked Dasha how long he had been abandoned, to which Dasha, in his way, conveyed it was more than 5 days without proper care. While accepting his death, Dasha was glad that Shen Lang had become powerful so no one could bully him. Shen Lang then claimed he was still being bullied. Upon hearing that, Dasha was enraged like the Hulk and covered Shen Lang while claiming that he would protect his best friend. Realizing that his friend was on the brink of death, Shen Lang was touched by the friend's determination to protect him. In tears, he reassured his friend that he was okay. With the help of Shen Lang's guards, he attempted to carry his friend. Filled with anger, Shen Lang exclaimed that he wouldn't let his friend die like this. He vowed to make his father recognize how capable his son was. Dasha expressed his desire to prove to his father that he could help take care of him in old age. Taking Dasha in a carriage, they reached Dasha's house. There, Shen Lang complained to his family about their cruelty. His stepmother justified their actions, stating that mountain people, being poor, couldn't afford to care for him. Dasha's stepbrother mocked Shen Lang, leading to Shen Lang's frustration. He overturned the table with all the food when the stepbrother tried to complain. Shen Lang kicked him, intending to make him sterile. In pain, the stepbrother writhed on the ground. Dasha's stepmother, angry and frustrated, insulted Shen Lang, calling him a waste and garbage. Shen Lang, not wanting to harm women, asked her to leave, pushing her away when she persisted. The stepmother threatened to sue the Su family, but Shen Lang, having severed ties with them, told her that he was now the son-in-law of the Earl. He told Dasha's stepmother to tell her husband to look for him in the Earl's mansion and left. Unbothered, Shen Lang proceeded to the mansion, where he encountered the head of the mansion's guard, a candidate for the family's son-in-law. Shen Lang asked about the situation, and they explained that it was a routine check. During this inspection, they discovered Dasha inside the carriage, prompting the guard to scold Shen Lang for audaciously bringing someone to the mansion. He ordered Shen Lang out of the carriage, but Shen Lang insisted on being allowed into the mansion with Dasha and ordered the guards to bring him inside. Unfortunately, his orders fell on deaf ears. Shen Lang then tried to force his way inside by driving the carriage. Just then, Jin Mulan and Jin Ju arrived, asking about the situation. Shen Lang explained that his friend was dying. Both of them decided to assist Shen Lang. The father-in-law summoned the mansion's doctor, and Jin Mulan volunteered to guide the carriage. She had apologized to Shen Lang for the disturbance caused by the guards, which impressed and calmed him since he initially felt lonely in the mansion. However, the head guard stepped in, scolding Jin Mulan for breaking the rules. In response, she took a whip and told the guard to turn around, scaring him away. When he turned, she used the whip to punish him, justifying her actions by emphasizing that she wouldn't tolerate disrespect towards her husband and was determined to correct the guard's attitude. As time passed, the doctor assessed Dasha's wounds, deeming them challenging to treat. Shen Lang couldn't help but question the doctor's abilities, wondering if he was truly better than him. At that moment, Mulan asked if he could treat Dasha. The doctor responded positively but mentioned it would be complicated and expensive. So when he left to get the medicine, Jin Mulan assured Shen Lang that his best friend would recover. Shen Lang explained that they were like brothers, a sentiment Jin Mulan clearly remembered as the two idiots. Shortly after, Mulan's father-in-law arrived and suggested they talk in the study. Once there, Shen Lang's father-in-law scolded him. Shen Lang assumed it was about bringing his friend and tried to explain. However, his father-in-law accused him of blackmailing Tian Heng and ordering harm to his adopted son. On his knees, Shen Lang thanked his father-in-law for saving his family and friend. He revealed the mistreatment he suffered from the Exu family after being expelled. Hearing the story, Shen Lang's father-in-law angrily vowed to seek justice against the Exu family. He instructed Shen Lang not to go out for a few days, assuring him that he would handle the situation. Shen Lang, refusing to stay idle, was given a book containing the family codes to memorize before he could go out. Jin Zhou then claimed that it took him a month, and Jin Mulan took 23 days, but he decided to memorize it all in an hour using his scanner with a wicked smile. To avoid upsetting his father-in-law, Shen Lang planned to inform Jin Zhou the next day. In the meantime, there was a bet in his in-law's bedroom about how long it would take him to memorize. The same night, the Countess couldn't believe Jin Zhou already scolded their son-in-law. Jin Zhou assumed that it would take Shen Lang 3 months to memorize everything. The Countess bet that Shen Lang could do it within a month. Being weak in front of his wife, Jin Zhou agreed, and they cuddled the whole night. The next morning, Shen Lang's mother-in-law attempted to help him by making soup to nourish his brain, but the guard informed her that Shen Lang had gone to bed early the previous. This angered his mother-in-law since she assumed that she would lose the bet. The next morning, Shen Lang strolled around the mansion. His father-in-law scolded him for being lazy and going to bed early instead of studying. Shen Lang assured him that he had already memorized the entire family code. However, his father-in-law doubted him, as it had taken Shen Lang over a month, while Jin Mulan, a prodigy, had done it in 23 days. When Shen Lang claimed to have memorized everything in one night, his father-in-law thought he was just fooling around. To make his point, the father-in-law ordered a guard to bring a whip, intending to enforce the family rules. Shen Lang became scared, worrying that his father-in-law might go to extremes. However, his mother-in-law stepped in, urging her husband to give Shen Lang a chance to apologize. Shen Lang refused, insisting that he had already memorized everything and even proposed a test. This annoyed his father-in-law, who was considering a second chance. The test began with Shen Lang reciting chapters of the code. To everyone's surprise, he recited letter by letter, leaving his father-in-law puzzled. He continued reciting the remaining chapters, and the Countess was pleased. Jin Zhou was confused as Shen Lang answered everything correctly and then casually dropped the book. Shen Lang's in-laws had different reactions to the situation. The Countess reminded her husband about the bet and left, requesting a whip to punish her son who couldn't memorize the same thing. When Jin Zhou was alone with Shen Lang, he asked how Shen Lang pulled off his incredible feat. At first, Shen Lang spoke gibberish, but under pressure, he started revealing some of the truth. He shared that after he died and came back to life at the Exu's house, his mind gained the extraordinary ability to remember everything. Shen Lang's father-in-law thought it was a kind of divine enlightenment. He told a story about a person who went through a similar experience, someone who was once nobody but turned into a martial arts master, building a prosperous life for his family and protecting a large territory. Shen Lang wondered if that person was also a time traveler like him. Then he reminded Jin Zhou about their bet, and his father-in-law allowed him to go out. As Shen Lang attempted to leave at the speed of light, he was advised not to seek revenge on Tian Heng for the time being. Jin Zhou warned him about a potential change in the system that could strip him of his thief status. To ensure his family's safety, Shen Lang's father-in-law promised to take matters into his own hands within 6 months. Shen Lang expressed gratitude but insisted that it was a matter of personal honor he needed to resolve on his own. He also assured that, as the powerful Earl's son-in-law, no one could harm him. However, his father-in-law cautioned him about confronting the chief of the city guard, as their family had no authority in the city. Despite this, he assured Shen Lang that he wouldn't allow any harm to come to their family. Shen Lang promised to defeat the chief within legal bounds, ensuring no loose ends. With the approval of his father-in-law, Shen Lang embarked on a mission to challenge Tian Heng. His strategy was to exploit Tian Heng's heavy reliance on casinos for income. Shen Lang aimed to defeat him repeatedly until the chief was left bankrupt. As he entered the city, citizens whispered and warned him about the dire consequences of entering a casino. Despite a guard feeling the need to stop him, another guard insisted that they couldn't interfere with Shen Lang's decision. Upon entering the casino, Shen Lang surprised another adopted son of Tian Heng. The young man was impressed to see Shen Lang venture into the lion's den. He quickly offered Shen Lang a seat and asked about the purpose of his visit. Shen Lang expressed his intention to play but admitted he currently had no money. He requested a loan from the man, who willingly agreed, planning to lend him a huge amount. The man's real intention, however, was to let Shen Lang lose and then use the debt as an excuse to harm him. Shen Lang asked for an interest of 1,000 coins, which equaled 10% of the annual loan. He also requested a promissory note for the 1,000 coins. Once the loan terms were settled, Shen Lang exchanged the coins for chips and suggested starting with a simple game of chance involving dice, where they would guess if the number that would appear was big or small. The betting began, and the dealer placed the cup with the dice on the table. Excitement filled the air as Shen Lang surprised everyone by placing a large bet. The crowd was even more excited when he won 1,000 gold coins on his first try. Despite losing the round, the man acknowledged his loss but challenged Shen Lang to experience winning a bet only to lose it all. Throwing the dice again, Shen Lang went all in, putting everything on the line. The spectators were shocked as he won 2,000 gold coins this time. While the onlookers were impressed, the man began to look worried. The stakes were getting higher, and the man was concerned about the significant losses of the casino. If he didn't turn things around, he would face the largest losses in years. Adding to his anxiety was the fear of his father's wrath for losing so much, especially to a family enemy like Shen Lang. Even the dealer was visibly nervous, breaking into a cold sweat. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, give a like and subscribe for more videos. See you next time.